I've got 2 copies. Yeah. I declare the meeting open and welcome all in attendance. Just advise everyone in the public gallery that the meeting is being live streamed and recorded in accordance with the city's live streaming and recording of council meeting policies. And by being present at this meeting, members of the public consent to the city recording and live streaming their image and or voice. Item 2, welcome to country. I invite Deputy Mayor Winmar.
Thank you, Worship. I'll begin by acknowledging my elders past and present. Ngalak yini kulang kurang ngalak noich nijin nonga boja. Nonga mo jerpen yini ninya ngalak kwabadak nonga boja kuralong. From the beginning of time to the end, this is Noongar country. Noongar people have been graceful keepers of our nation for many, many years. Jini encouraging jerpen nija wern nonga boja ngala maya border. Look, listen, understand and embrace all the elements of Noongar country, because this is forever our home. Kai wanju ngan kor jerpen nija nonga boja dajli wangi nonga boja wanju. Hello and welcome. My heart is happy as we gathered on Noongar country tonight. Welcome.
And it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all here. And before commencing proceedings, I would like to acknowledge that we come together tonight on the traditional land of the Noongar people, and we pay our respects to the elders past and present. Item 3, dedication. I call upon Councillor Ivy Penny to read the dedication.
May we, the elected members of the City of Kwinana, have the wisdom to consider all the matters before us with due consideration, integrity and respect for the Council Chamber. May the decisions made be in good faith and always in the best interest of the greater Kwinana community that we serve.
Item number 5, there are no public questions. 6.1, do councillors have any petitions? 6.2, there are no presentations. There are no deputations. Actually, there is one deputation. Deputation from Peter. Sorry, I can't pronounce your surname. I'm not even going to try. Would you like to come forward to the podium?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's Peter Merger from, and probably lacking a vowel there, I have to apologise. So Peter Merger from Urbanista Town Planning, 231 Bloor Street in Perth, with the applicant for item 17.2 relating to a proposed childcare centre at number 2 Dawn Street in Wellard. My colleague Steve, who's dealt with this for over the past year, is unfortunately able to make it tonight, so I'm stepped in here. So if there are any questions, I'll do my best to answer those. I guess the application before council tonight is a result of over a year's worth of liaison with the city. We've worked to refine the development. We've provided further analysis regarding impacts of the development on the adjoining neighbours. But we feel that all the issues have been suitably addressed, and we're thankful of the recommendation of approval tonight. So with respect to the development, the centre layout provides a clear buffer between the childcare centre and all surrounding residential properties through the adjacent streets and the parking area. This ensures that there will be minimal impacts to existing residents, whilst enabling the care of the children within the conveniently located and high amenity context of the residential zone. Noise, parking and traffic impacts have been thoroughly considered by expert consultants in associated traffic impact statement, environmental acoustic assessment reports, which accompany the development plans, and all recommendations will be implemented in accordance with the city's recommended conditions of approval. The childcare centre will provide a critical service for families in the area, whilst also providing employment opportunities for people in the locality. The design provides a suitable frontage to Dawn Street and will result in a significant contribution to landscaping of the site and the adjacent verge areas, which will substantially improve the canopy coverage and streetscape amenity. We've worked closely with the city, as previously mentioned, to ensure that all relevant matters of concern, including community submissions, have been thoroughly addressed. And we stand here this evening with the recommendation for approval, and we hope that we receive your support for the application. I therefore request that the council support the officer recommendation and allow this project to proceed to the next stage. I'm happy to answer any questions, but should council have those any matters that require clarification, I'm happy to answer those. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Item 7.1, minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on the 11th of October 2023. How does that work for the councillors?
It's only for the councillors that are here. That's one of the vagaries of the system.
So everyone's voting from
Everyone's voting.
Okay, so for those people that are wondering, they weren't at the meeting, so that they potentially can't say whether it's right or wrong. That's just the procedure that we have. So I guess councillor that was at the meeting moved Councillor Rouse, seconded Councillor Wood. Would either councillors like to speak on those minutes? I'll put it to the vote. All in favour? Carried. 7.2, minutes of special council meeting held on the 30th of October. Who would like to move those? Moved Deputy Mayor, seconded Councillor Kearney. Would either councillor like to speak? No. I'll put it to the vote. All in favour? Against? Moved. Declarations of interest by members or city officers. Does anyone have a declaration to make? No? Request for leave of absence. Neil? There is nothing on item 10, 11, 12, 13 or 14. Item 15.1, honorary freedom of the city nomination. Mr. CEO, is there any additional information?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Does council have any questions in relation to that application? No? Would someone like to move Deputy Mayor, seconded Councillor Sargent. Deputy Mayor, would you like to speak on that item?
Yeah, thank you, Worship. With the changing of the name to the Freedom of the City, it, as we said, it didn't take any recognition away from the new naming of the order, which in line brings it with nominations carry much respect in the community and within this council. I'd like to acknowledge the nomination for the former Mayor, Ms Carol Adams, and her service to this community, and let everybody know that she is a worthy recipient and she will continue to add value to the city and contribute in a way as a Freeman, which this council will draw upon expertise and extensive governance experience. So thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Councillor Sargent?
I would just like to say, Mayor Feasey, that Carol Adams is someone that has given so much to our community, so I'm humbly honoured to support this nomination because I think she truly deserves it and will continue to support our community.
Thank you. Would anyone like to speak against? No? Then I will put it to the vote. All in favour? Against? Carried. There's nothing on item 16. Item 17, 17.1, proposed childcare centre, lot 245, Dawn Street, Wellard. Is there any additional information? No? Do council have any questions in relation to this item? No? Would someone like to move that way? Moved Deputy Mayor, seconded Councillor Rouse. Would either councillors like to speak on the item? Councillor Rouse.
Just briefly, Worship, the councillors were well briefed on this the other night. I think we're all fairly across it, and I know I'm supportive of it. It's good to see that the applicant has worked well with the city staff to come up with a few tweaks here and there, and I think it's going to be a welcome addition to the area and to the Kwinana community as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Rouse. Does anyone like to speak against the item? No? I'll put it to the vote. All in favour? Against? Carried. 1, appointment of council representatives to committees and organisations. Would someone like to move that we suspend standing orders so we can have a general conversation about this? Move, Deputy Mayor. Seconded, Councillor Wood. All those in favour? Against? Carried. So we'll just go through one by one, and people can just indicate. Okay. So all committees bar the Local Emergency Management Committee will require vote by show of hands, whereas in line with the change to the local government rules and regulations, the Local Emergency Management Committee, which is an elected member who is the chair, will be required to be voted by way of preferential voting, optional preferential voting. So hopefully we don't have more than one. Audit and Risk Committee, the Mayor and the Deputy Mayor are automatically on there by way of the policy. So we have 2 positions to be filled. We have a nomination from David Acker, Councillor Acker, and Councillor Sargent. Any other? No? Elected to that committee. The Audit and Risk Committee, Independent Audit and Risk Committee Member Appointment Selection Panel. I guess I should be on that one. And 2 others, Deputy Mayor and Councillor Acker. Executive Appraisal, again, I should be on there. Councillor Winmar, Councillor... Okay, hold your hands up maybe. Okay, so we have 5 positions. There's 6 people that want to be on there. You're all happy to withdraw? So that would be appointing myself, the Deputy Mayor, Councillor Acker, Councillor Brown and Councillor Wood to the Exec Appraisal. And tell me if I'm going too fast. Do we have any nominations for the Local Emergency Management Committee? I note that Councillor Rouse has previously been the chair of that committee. No other nominations? No need for a private ballot? CEO's disappointed. The Kwinana Recovery Group. Can someone provide a little bit more information about that?
I don't know.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Mayor. So obviously, when we have a crisis, we have a response and we have recovery. So obviously, that recovery group is, once the crisis is finished, we need to bring the community together to kind of recover from that crisis. So,
okay, we have one nomination from Councillor Sargent. Any other nominations? You're in, Councillor Sargent. Bushfire Advisory Committee. Deputy Mayor and Councillor Acker. Any other nominations? The Disability Reference Group. Councillor Kearney. Councillor Wood. It is a reference group, so those 2 councillors could be appointed. It's nothing stopping you from attending if you have an interest. The Bullamara Advisory Group. We have 3 nominations.
I'm happy to be a proxy or a guest at that meeting if that...
How has the proxy worked in the past? You chair that group, don't you, Deputy Mayor?
Yeah, thank you, Worship. We previously had myself and the Mayor as co-chair, and we've had an elected member. There
Okay.
was provisions around the way the appointments were scheduled for that arrangement. I can't see why there is an issue why we can't revisit that sort of proposal on this occasion.
So you're saying that we could add an additional councillor if...
Yeah, in the terms of reference, there's no restrictions around the council representation on that committee.
Okay. I'm more than happy
But,
to
yeah.
add the 3 councillors if there's no objections. The Cash Donations and Sponsorship Assessment Panel. I'm happy to put up. Councillor Wood, Councillor Kearney. Haven't seen your hand yet, Councillor Brown. The Event Funding Assessment Panel. Councillor Wood and Councillor Kearney. No other. The Freedom of the City Working Group. I'm happy to put my hand up for that. Deputy Mayor, Councillor Penny. No one else? Yep, 3.
Do you need 3?
So I've said I'll do Councillor Penny and Deputy Mayor.
Oh, okay. You've got enough.
It doesn't meet very often. I think it probably met once in the last 10 years.
Oh, okay.
So are you wanting to go? So we're forming that.
So, Councillor Kearney,
Yeah.
Councillor... Who was the other councillor?
Penny?
Councillor Penny and myself.
Deputy Mayor's coming. Yeah.
I know he's pulled out. Kwinana Community Fund Panel. Councillor Rouse, Councillor Wood and Councillor Kearney with only 2 spots. It's Councillor Kearney and Councillor Wood. The Lyrics Scholarship and Awards Panel. Councillor Brown.
No one else? I wrote a speech.
You didn't really.
No need to use
Oh.
that.
You can read it after the meeting, Councillor Brown. The Community Awards Assessment Panel, noting that the obviously the process of that committee has changed to what it previously was. Everyone's aware of how that works now. If not, Mr. Fisher would love to give you a rundown.
Yeah, so we conducted a review, I think that was late last year, and provided a memo to council around that. The feedback and obviously we did that review obviously on the advice from council because we really weren't getting many nominations from community members to be involved in that. So we did a significant survey out to the community, and what came back from the community was if they're nominated and awarded, they'd prefer to celebrate that with their club rather than a large civic function. So obviously we've amended that now. So there'll be a nomination process going out for those nominations in December. And obviously that selection panel will be 1 councillor and a range of community representatives to be on that sort of on that panel. And then the award will be an award for that person, but also some benefit for their club as well. So is it capacity building for the club and so forth. So it's very much a grassroots awards rather than a civic function.
Do we have a nomination? Councillor Rouse? Okay, the Local Commercial Support Grant Panel. Councillor Sargent, Councillor Brown, we need 1 more. Councillor Rouse? Sorry, you're turning the microphone.
Sorry. I'm happy to act as a proxy if required. I think it's important to have separation between my previous role and the role that I'm in now, but if required, I'm happy to step in.
Okay, thank you. Minor Capital Works Assessment Panel. Sorry, Minor Capital Works Assessment Panel. What is that? Mr. Mayor.
As well. So it hasn't been used for significant years, but it's it's still in the policy. So that's why it's still there. So it could be a facility that a community group leases off us, and obviously if they need to do any minor capital works, that comes back to a panel. Yeah.
Do I have any nominations? Councillor Acker. Councillor Penny. Naming of parks, places, buildings working group. I'm happy to nominate for that. So, who would really like to be on it? Councillor Wood and Councillor Penny? And myself? Public Art Review Panel. Councillor Penny? I think that was just who it was. We'll soon see the artwork that is about to go in the roundabout outside of Costco to how well that committee. So that's all the council committees and reference groups. So external committees, the Alcoa Kwinana Refinery Environmental Improvement Plan Advisory Board. Councillors Wood and Councillor Sargent.
I'm happy to recruit. I'm not saying the word correctly, but I'll remove myself from that for Councillor Wood.
And once again, there's probably no reason why you couldn't also attend. The Alcohol Stakeholders Reference Group, Kwinana Long-Term Residue Management Strategy. Councillor Sargent. Everyone wins a prize. Beelia Regional Park Advisory Committee. Councillor Penny. Coburn Sound Management Council, Councillor Brown. And we need a proxy. Councillor Penny. The Community Industries Forum, Councillor Sargent, Councillor Acker. So we need one member and two proxies. So Councillor Sargent, Councillor Acker, one proxy is probably enough. Jandakot Botanic Regional Park Community Advisory Committee. Councillor Penny. The Joint Development Assessment Panel, I note that Councillor Rouse is actually a member of that until January. So, Deputy Mayor, Councillor Rouse, Councillor Wood and Councillor Penny. So who wants to be the proxy and who wants to be the... Councillor Rouse? Member. So two proxies, we happy with that? And I believe there's some training required for that. The coveted position of the Kwinana Senior Citizens. I believe Councillor Kearney does want to be on the Kwinana Senior Citizens. They did request that I stay on their committee. I'm more than happy for you to be the member and I'll just continue to attend. Okay. So let's say Councillor Kearney is the member and Councillor Wood and myself are the proxy. The Local Government Association South Metro Zone.
So you're one.
Am I?
Yeah.
I'm not on there.
Yeah, you should be one.
Apparently I'm just been told I should be one. Deputy Mayor and Councillor Acker. That adds up. Oh, so that's Deputy Mayor, Councillor Acker, and apparently I'm required. The Metropolitan Regional Road Group Southwest Subgroup. Councillor Penny. And proxy. Councillor Sargent. The South East Regional Centre for Urban Land Care.
I'm showing my environmental bias here, but I just feel like I should declare it.
Otherwise, I would have going to nominate Councillor Brown. Councillor Penny. I'm automatically on that. Southwest Corridor Development Foundation. I believe Councillor Wood was previously on there. And deputy, second person. Yep. So we just need a second person. Oh, well, you could put you on there twice, Councillor Wood. Is it a deputy or is it a proxy?
That's a proxy. So
Okay.
You don't really need to have.
That's fine. We will go without a proxy. Oh, sorry. Yep. Councillor Penny as the proxy. Okay, the Perth Southwest Medical and Alliance Environment. Apparently, the Deputy Mayor and I are on that. And lastly, the committee of the, well, actually almost lastly, the committee of the Corlini Arts Centre Incorporated. I believe that it's probably appropriate that I actually nominate for that committee in that the process that we're currently going through. So we only have one. We only have one position on that. So this is not the current management of the Corlini. It's the previous management of the Corlini.
That makes sense, thank you.
Then lastly, almost lastly, that council approve the following elected member nomination for the local government representative to the Peel Harvey Catchment Council. Anyone? Councillor Brown, did I see your hand? It's actually only a nomination, so you actually. Oh, Councillor Penny.
Like I'm filling a portfolio here, like.
And item four, that council appoints Gay McMath and Ben Arnold as the two independent audit and risk committee members, with the contract term expiring on the 18th of October 2025, and their payment for consultation fees rendered to be in accordance with the confidential attachment C. So could I have someone move that we resume standing orders? Councillor Brown?
Just a question to the city, and I did ask this prior to the meeting, so just so everyone can hear the answer. Compared to the list of committees from the previous term of the council, could the city just outline what changes have been made? I just had a question about the Multicultural Advisory Committee that was on the previous list that isn't there now, so perhaps that could be one of the things to talk to as part of that answer.
So let me just talk about the Multicultural Advisory Committee first. So yes, it has been on the previous committees to be nominated for, and I think you nominated for that last year, Councillor Brown, and we didn't have a meeting. And I think as administration, I looked at that advisory group, and we probably weren't looking at meeting again this year. The reason being we haven't got a multicultural action plan that's sort of in place at the current point in time, but the city is looking to do that. So from an administrative point of view, what we're looking at doing is doing that action plan first, and then obviously bringing together, building a relationship with the multicultural community, and then bringing that committee back up next year. Other committees, I think, is pretty much the same.
Someone move that we resume standing orders. Deputy Mayor, Councillor Rouse, all in favour? Against? Carried. We can just make sure that when we vote, our hands are shown so that the governance officer can see clearly. There is nothing.
So we just now need to move.
That's right, we do. So we now need to move the recommendation to appoint all those people to all those various committees. Moved, Councillor Wood, seconded Deputy Mayor. All in favour? Against? So moved. Was that against, Councillor Penny? There's nothing on item 19. Notice of motion for consideration at the following meeting if given during the meeting. There is nil. Late and urgent business. There is nil. Reports of elected members. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Worship. I've performed all those duties expected of my role. Nothing else to report. Thank you.
Councillor Acker.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On Friday, the 3rd of November, I attended the Community Champion Sundowner, along with yourself, Councillor Brown, Councillor Rouse, and Councillor Wood. It was a fantastic event where I learned a lot about the history of Sloan's Cottage, and I met many of the champions from around our community. On Sunday, I attended the Kwinana South Volunteer Bushfire Brigade Open Day. That's a lot to say. In Wellard, I ran into my fellow councillors Brown and Sargent. The event was well attended by the community. Lots was learned and lots of fun was had as well. It was great to meet and talk to some of the volunteer firefighters on the day as well. Just want to say kudos to those that organized both of those events, as they were definitely something that the community can be proud of. And today I attended the roadmap for digital transformation with process automation, presented by Rico at Anzac House on an invitation as a councillor. Thank you.
Councillor Brown.
Thank you, Your Worship. So since our last council meeting, it was great to join residents, WA Police, city representatives and Councillor Penny at the Kwinana Senior Citizen Centre in Medina for the latest Community Safety Forum. So at this event, our city's community safety officer ran through a number of city initiatives currently underway, such as the $500 CCTV security subsidy. And we had the Medina Residents Group speak about their work in the local area and the benefits they've experienced through a more connected environment community as well. A large portion of that evening was an open discussion with our local police, which included an introduction to the Kwinana Police Station's new officer in charge, Senior Sergeant Lynn Barber. For the benefit of those in the chamber and listening at home, topics raised on the night with the local police included the frequency of police patrols, the level of feedback residents receive following reports, navigating the different contact options for police, trail bike riders, illegal dumping, vehicle break-ins and number plate theft, and how to raise awareness of the progress local police are having in tackling issues in the local area. So all around, it was a fantastic event there. Last Friday evening, I joined fellow councillors and city staff at the historic grounds of Sloan's Cottage for the special Community Champion Sundowner, where representatives from the city's local groups, associations, clubs and community-focused organisations came together to connect and celebrate all the good things that make up the city that we're all proud to call home. I think the message from the evening was very clear that when we come together and connect as residents, as a community, and as a city, nothing can stop us from kicking big goals. Last Sunday, I attended the Kwinana South Fire Station Open Day. Agree with me. The event, it was an absolutely massive turnout for this event and was jam-packed with family-friendly activities and fire awareness initiatives, and proved to be an important opportunity for local residents to dive into all things fire safety as we head into summer. While fire is of course serious business, the atmosphere was super fun, and highlights for our younger residents included switching on sirens in the big trucks and riding in the mini fire tanker known as Squirt. Well done to the Kwinana South Volunteer Bushfire Brigade and to everyone involved for putting on this hugely successful event. And lastly, since our last council meeting, I also attended the latest Coburn Sound Management Council meeting, which saw members and guest speakers come together at the Coburn Powerboats Club out in Coogee. Here we heard updates from Westport, Watercorp provided an overview of the Perth seawater desalination plant, and Ozfish provided a presentation on their efforts to restore seagrass in Coburn Sound with their Seed for Snapper initiative, which has seen millions of seagrass seeds harvested and dispersed in the region to regrow a vital habitat for marine life. I think that's a really incredible project, and if anyone's interested in learning more about them, I'm happy to share after the meeting. At this meeting, members also endorsed a revised Coburn Sound Management Council communications plan, which includes the development and circulation of communiques to the general public and stakeholders, such as this chamber, following meetings. So that's just one of the benefits from the revisions implemented off the back of member feedback and workshops. And as part of my update to the Coburn Sound Management Council on the day, I spoke to the recent City of Kwinana election and the fact that the environment continued to be top of mind for residents who took part in the election process, and that there remained, in my view, a strong endorsement for local government to play an active and proactive role in this domain. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Brown. Councillor Kearney.
I have nothing to report.
Thank you, Councillor Penny.
Thank you. Along with Councillor Brown, I attended the Community Safety Forum at the Medina Senior Cits Club on Thursday, the 2nd of November. It was really heartening to see the community discussion taking place, and also the commitment of the community liaison officers from WA Police. It was incredibly valuable, and I could see the sense of relief from community members to be able to speak openly about the concerns they had and have a really strong audience in our local police force. So it's very heartening to see, and I know that the people left that forum a lot more positive and feeling empowered than when they walked in. So it's really great work, and really want to commend the work of the city officers to bring that together. It's very important.
Thank you. Councillor Rouse.
Thank you, Worship. Nothing official to report as such, but I did attend the Community Champion Sunday out at Slames Reserve, and I just think it's fantastic that we're using our historic venues like that in that sort of way to showcase them to the public, but also utilise those areas of our natural history and beauty. And I just want to make a mention to the Halloween event that was run by the community Kwinana Youth Advisory Council led event, which was on last Tuesday night. City staff and the kayak spent many hours setting up the Chamber of Chills at the zone, and I actually got to help out setting up our own little zone and get dressed up to play a clown on the night. And I know I've wrote this before, but it's not a stretch of my acting abilities to play a clown. But I did provide a few jump scares, and there was many other actors on there on the night, and they just provided that real Chamber of Chills horror, and it was really great to see. And I just want to make a special mention to all the staff that hang around that not only helped set up for a couple of days, but hung around straight after the event and spent many hours packing it all away. So just want to congratulate the kayak and the staff for that, and especially Nikki Chatham for her tutelage of our wonderful kayak students and members. But also on a side note, I don't know if you were going to mention this, Your Worship, but the West Australian Next Gen Awards were held on Wednesday the 1st November. Were you going to mention this? No? You were, but you'll let me do it. So they're held at Curtin University, which I watched on live stream. We had 3 nominations. One was Annabelle Cardew for the finalist for the Young Leader of Western Australia. Stephanie Beaumont was also a finalist, and Felix Abbott was a finalist for the Youth Innovator of the Year award. And I'm very pleased to say that Stephanie Beaumont was announced Young Leader of the Year for Western Australia, and Felix Abbott was announced the Youth Innovator of the Year award. So also Mr. Kim Flintoff was a finalist for Educator of the Year. All 4 of those represent Peter Carnley Anglican Community Schools. So I was pleased to speak to the principal, Felicity House, and she's very proud of the work she's done, and I've had a long association as my 2 children go to PCAC. So, but it's an amazing that these students are coming through our education system within Kwinana. We should all be very proud of all our schools within Kwinana, and I think our future is in safe hands if these are the quality of youth that we're producing. So thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Rouse. Councillor Sargent.
Thank you, Mayor Feasy. Prior to becoming an elected member, I did attend the Wandie Progress Association, and I just felt that it was important to mention the fantastic work this great community organisation over the last 36 years has created in partnership with the council to thrive within their community and build such an amazing the education on the area, that they're managing the hall, the user groups, how they are interacting with the community, empowering their community. That was really fantastic. So I just felt that they deserved an honourable mention. I did also attend the Bushfire Education Day. The one thing that I took from that, on top of all the fantastic activities, engagement, would be regarding asking the members of the community to look at, do you have a fire awareness plan? And if not, look at doing one, because they did a VR simulation that was quite confronting, but it was definitely something that I feel as a community that each person could maybe address and have a look at. And the final thing I did want to mention is this Saturday, my apologies, is Remembrance Day. I know that we haven't formally attended that yet, but I definitely would like to make a statement to say to everyone that has ever served for our country, past, present, or plans to in the future, thank you so much. This year the RSL is asking that we please remember to remember. So I felt at this forum that we could say to all our servicemen and women, past, present and current and planning to be, that we remember you and we thank you for your service to our country. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Wood.
Hard to follow that one. I've performed all those duties required of me. I also attended the Southwest Corridor Development Foundation's 40th anniversary of Land Care in WA celebration, where we had an update on the progress of the Save the Snake-necked Turtle project. This turtle is native to the southwest of WA and is endangered. I'm pleased to say that, as well as the original South Metro Zone councils, our area, being involved with this project, there are now 18 councils from both Metro and regional councils involved, which is really pleasing. I, along with some fellow councillors, attended the Spring Community Champion Sundowner held at the beautiful setting of Sloane's Reserve. The Good Thanks Cafe at the Aquatic put on a lovely array of finger food, which I'm sure was appreciated by all present. It was delightful meeting some of our community volunteers and enjoying a very pleasant evening with them. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Wood. Answers previous questions. There are nil. Mayoral announcements. I attended a number of those events along with everyone else. The Kwinana South Bushfire Brigade Open Day was certainly very well attended. Kudos to Mrs. Cook and Mr. Fisher's departments for putting that on, as well as the Kwinana South Bushfire Brigade. I attended the event outside Sloane's Reserve. I also attended the Love My Leader Spring Community Safety Series, I think is what it was called, on the Saturday. It was quite warm. It was a reasonable number of people there. There was a couple with a cop. The new officer in charge of the police station was in attendance. And there was a number of different activities for the kids and some bushwalks and whatnot. I, on Tuesday, yesterday, attended the Kwinana Senior Citizens and Frank Anagni's Melbourne Cup Day. Appeared to be a great day by all accounts. Everyone seemed to be getting right into it. Remembrance Day is on Saturday. 10:30, I think, is the time to gather outside the memorial in Medina. And can I also mention that it is the Rotary Spring Fair on Saturday, starting at 10 o'clock at Callista Oval for those people that wish to attend. I think that is about all. So I will declare the meeting. Sorry, there are no confidential items. And I will declare the meeting closed at 6:13.